Hi, and welcome back to Educator.com. Today's lesson will be on diminished chords. So, our lesson objectives will be breaking down and explaining the diminished chord. We're going to explore the intervals within the diminished chord, and we're going to do some listening and kind of discerning the difference between minor and diminished and major and augmented, because we have all of those other chords in our vocabulary and in our ears, so we're going to be listening between all four of them. C diminished chord. Okay, so let's start with C. We always do. We'll begin with our C, middle C, and let's find it on the keyboard. Here's our C. Now, diminished chords are made up of two minor thirds. And as you remember, a minor third is made up of 4 half steps. We start counting from our first note. We start with C. 1, C sharp 2, D3, E flat 4. So here's our first minor third, C to E flat. Okay, we need another minor third on top of the E flat. Let's count 4 half steps. E flat 1, E natural 2, F3, G flat 4. So here's our flat, here's our G. Okay, there's our diminished chord. Let's have a listen to the C diminished chord. So a C minor chord is C, E flat, G. This is minor. We are making this chord even smaller by taking the 5th and bringing it down a half step. Now let's think for a second and remember the C augmented chord. C augmented is beginning from C major. Here's C major. The 5th goes up a half step. This is expanding. Now here's C minor. We have the minor third and then the 5th on top. This one is contracting. This chord is getting smaller. The augmented chord gets bigger, the diminished chord gets smaller. It's not really leading your ear anywhere in particular. It's just a very dark sound. It's minor, and then it's minor and diminished. So it's as small of a chord as you can get in theory. It's very small. Let's do a D diminished chord. Here's our D, and let's count our half steps to create the minor third above D. 1 D, 2 E flat, 3 E, 4 F. So we'll use a bass clef chord, D, F. Okay, F, G flat, G, A flat, D, F, A flat. Let's have a listen to D diminished. Okay. D, F, A flat. Here's D minor. Here's D diminished. It's kind of fun to play between diminished chords and other major chords nearby. See what notes these chords have in common. Okay, here's D diminished. I see an F and an A flat on top. Let's keep the F and the A flat. Let's add a C. Here's an F minor chord. Here's D diminished, F minor. Let's keep the F and the D, and let's add a B. This is another diminished chord. We'll get to this one later. But again, if you are a songwriter and you're interested in writing music that has interesting chord progressions, the diminished chord is another really interesting chord to have in your vocabulary. So there's your D diminished chord. And let's move on